Let's turn to Andy Mok for more. He's a senior research fellow at the Center for China and Globalization. Thanks for joining us, Andy.
My pleasure, Elaine.
Well, 7 years later, is the Xiongan New Area living up to its promise? If you can, give us sort of a progress report of the pros and cons and what you're seeing right now.
Well, I think Xiongan definitely is living up to its potential as the city of the future. I think back to William Gibson, the science fiction writer, who famously said, "The future is here, it's just not evenly distributed yet." So Xiongan was developed exactly with this purpose in mind, to be the leading edge of urban development. And I think that there's a couple things to point out here. First of all, technology has played a role in making cities possible. So I think of, say, the southwestern United States, where the interstate highway system, electricity, and air conditioning made some of those cities possible. And in Xiongan, what we're seeing is not just what we typically think of as technology, including high-speed rail, the digital twins, the simulation of the city that allows the city to be better managed, more safely managed, et cetera. But governance technology as well, because we have to recognize building an entire new city from scratch is an enormously complex undertaking, not just from a civil engineering perspective, but from an organizational perspective. And I think China here has brought governing technology as well as other types of traditional technology to bear in making Xiongan possible. And we've seen companies move there, people move there, preferential policies, and it's not just people and companies from China, but all around the world. So I think it certainly is living up to its potential.
Talk to us about that a little bit more. You mentioned the businesses and the industries. What other sorts of people is it attracting? Are we seeing more families moving there? Has the population grown as it is expected to?
I think it has. And again, we have to separate some of the hype from the realities on the ground. And in some ways, it's not that different from the internet revolution, where I think it was Bill Gates that said, in the short term, people overestimate the internet, but in the long term, they underestimate it. So at the very launch, there was a lot of excitement, media coverage, not just in China, all around the world. And I think it went through a period of, hey, why isn't there much happening?
All right, Andy Mok, we'll have to try to check in with him a little bit later. Sorry.